right, welcome back to week 2. Again, Kelsea Cannon here, and today we're going to be talking about why women are not just small men and why we are very different. And I realize that's kind of like stating the obvious. However, in modern medicine, it has not delineated very well between the physiology of someone who identifies as a male versus the physiology of someone who identifies as a female. And if you identify with both, that's a whole different conversation as well. And so essentially as women, we have hormonal cycles. So we have this beautiful kind of ebb and flow. Our sex hormones ebb and flow, our sleep and stress hormones ebb and flow, our thyroid hormones ebb and flow. Everything about us ebbs and flows. We are like the seasons, we're like the moon. Our menstrual cycles even reflect that. And so our nervous systems do best, in fact, when we have this like innate mechanism. Keep talking about innate mechanisms, there are many. Women do really well when we actually use this system called the tend and befriend response. Tend and befriend, where we have this tendency to buffer stress by kind of tending to the people that we love and tending to our kind of tribal members and our friends. Like we want to reach out, we want to connect, we want to feel heard, held, and validated. Sometimes that's all we want and need. We don't need to be told how to do X, Y, and Z and what we're doing wrong. No, we actually just want to be heard, right? And that is a huge nervous system kind of regulator for women. And gosh, I tell you what, my lived experience, the number one person I wanted to be heard and validated from was me. Different story for a different time. But our male counterparts, you all can push through differently than women. You guys have a much more kind of linear, kind of like cut and dried experience in terms of your hormonal rhythms. And so this is why men sometimes feel so much or appear to like be so capable of like just like powering through and doing these like big extreme things and can really be on more than women. And this is also why women, we don't always feel like we can like keep up, and when we try, it's exhausting and it actually wreaks havoc on our hormones and our metabolic pieces and all sorts of things. And so it's just men and women are wired differently, and sometimes not sometimes, actually most of the time, when we start to understand the way that our bodies are wired hormonally, and again, kind of from a nervous system standpoint, it makes sense, and it brings a lot of reason as to why we feel what we feel. Again, the validation is huge. And so I wanted to at least drop this because I know it's really easy to try to like keep up with society and keep up with what you're supposed to do and keep up with your partner, or try to like, figure out what your partner or your people in your life need, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel so different from what I need. And it's hard to put words to that, right? But just know that as women, we are circadian beings, and men, you guys are too. Like, I promise you're still human and you still have light dark cycles. You still have cycles, but they are very different for women compared to women. And so I wanted to drop this little nugget in this week because, again, the way that women regulate their nervous system is going to be different than the way our male counterparts regulate theirs, or the way that we approach diet and exercise are very, very different. But again, if you look at how, modern healthcare, the modern like wellness and fitness industries are portraying health, it's like go hard or go home and do more and do this and do that. And it's like, we appreciate the encouragement, but it's not actually designed for women's bodies. And so if you're thinking, really, how do I do this? Well, this is why I want you to drop questions or jot down questions and really start to kind of get curious about, well, how is my body doing? What is it that I need and want? What is it that I am maybe even have been denying myself, or my body is like literally screaming at me, and what is it that I'm not listening to? So it can be such a beautiful process when you start to kind of like unpack some of this. So anywho, women are not just small men. We're wired very differently, and there is a place for both of us in the world. The world needs both of those wirings. So on that note, next week we're going to be talking about brain boosting nutrition, and the answers are going to surprise you, and I can't wait to drop those as well. So enjoy tuning in to your own needs and desires, and we'll see you next week.